Hello and welcome back to another Tartan Talk Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, July 19th, 2016. This episode is going to be all about tattoos, and I don't mean tattoos like ink on your skin. I'm talking about the big military international music shows that happen around the world. So let's jump right in. Tartan in the past. Tattoos actually come from the early 17th century. And the term tattoo comes from a Dutch term, and I forget the actual words in Dutch, but the translation from Dutch to English means turn the tap off. Back in the early 17th century, the drummers or trumpeters would go through the streets sounding off between 9:30 and 10, and that was the signal to the innkeepers to stop serving beer to soldiers and the soldiers to get back to their barracks. It eventually grew bigger and bigger until it ended up being a whole kind of show that would go through the streets, and then that turned into sort of a stationary show, and over the last several hundred years, this has become quite a big thing, all of these big tattoos all over the world. It started out just being military music, military bands, but of course has expanded to other things as well. Tartan in the news. So it is tattoo season. There is a huge tattoo that happened here in Halifax that ended in the last couple of weeks. Right now is the Basel tattoo in Basel, Switzerland, and next month will be the Edinburgh tattoo in Edinburgh, Scotland. And of course, there's lots of other tattoos around the world, but those are actually the top 3 biggest tattoos. The Basel tattoo, which is happening right now, is the second largest in the world, second only to the Edinburgh tattoo. And it was founded in 2006. And in those years, there have been almost 1 million spectators that have come and watched the show. It is located right in the heart of Basel, on the banks of the Rhine River. It is an outdoor show. There's such a huge variety of tartans in this show. The cast is a variety of people from all over the world, from all walks of life, and it really is quite spectacular. If you ever have the chance to go to Switzerland, to go to Basel in mid to late July to see the show, I highly recommend it. Piece of the week. Speaking of the Basel tattoo, I was lucky enough to go 3 years ago, and I'm actually there as you are watching this. This is unfortunately pre-recorded. I am in Switzerland, in Basel, right now. But when I was there 3 years ago, I made a gown while I was there. I made it in my hotel room. I made it almost directly on to the model, who happens to be one of the Highland dancers that we were there with for the international dance team that year. And we shot this in the cathedral there in the city of Basel, and it was absolutely beautiful, and I absolutely love it. Tartan of the week. The gown that I made when I was in Basel is actually made in the Basel tattoo tartan. They decided to design their own tartan and have it woven, and that is what their staff wears. It is registered as the Basel tattoo tartan, and that is the tartan that I used to make the gown that was the piece of the week this week. So, of course, the tartan of the week this week, the Basel tattoo tartan. Thanks very much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you next week for another Tartan Talk Tuesday. Cheers.